Hello from the 11th inning stretch. My name is Paul Epi, and this is the series preview for the quick two-game set when the Cardinals go down to Houston and play the Astros. The series starters for the Astros are going to be Dallas Keuchel on Tuesday and Doug Fister on Wednesday.
And your St. Louis Cardinals starters are going to be Jaime Garcia and Carlos Martinez.
Injuries-wise for the Astros, they do have a couple. Namely, probably their biggest one is going to be Colby Rasmus. We all know about him. He had some sort of ear problem, and he had surgery to remove some cyst in his ear on August 10th. He's not going to be here for the Cardinal series. Luis Valbuena is another one. He's dealing with some right hamstring problems. He's been put on the DL. Lance McCullers has been put on the DL. Jake Marisnick has been put on the DL. And so the Astros are a bit beat up.
Same kind of tune for the Cardinals right now. A lot of injuries hit here as of late. Matt Holliday, if you pay attention to the Cubs series, went down with a hand injury. Paul told me he's most likely out for the season to kind of rehab that the rest of the season. Aledmus Diaz is still hurt with a thumb. His return is possibly early September. Matt Adams has a shoulder problem. He's possibly late August. And Michael Wacha also has a shoulder problem. And his timetable to return is to be determined. Both of those are right shoulder inflammation. I believe that's what it said. So I think they're just going to pry on Michael Wacha since he had that surgery. They're going to wait for that kind of inflammation and swelling to go down and give him a couple days extra rest after that and then throw him back out there.
Right. And for who's hot for the Astros, it's got to be Carlos Correa, their star young shortstop. Against Toronto this past weekend, he was 5 for 12 with 4 RBIs. He's batting .277 with 18 home runs on the season. Very solid year, his second or third year in the league. And Jose Altuve, the MVP candidate. He had a slow weekend in Toronto this past weekend, but he's still batting .362 with 19 home runs and 26 stolen bases, which is kind of crazy. He's producing on all levels. He hits the ball. He has power. He can run. He's definitely the one guy to watch out for in this series. And who's not
solid?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, and he's a solid glove at second base too. Both of those guys you mentioned are solid defensive people. Yeah, studs.
Right. And finally, who's not hot for the Astros? I'm going to go with Dallas Keuchel. He has not pitched anything like his Cy Young season last year. In his start at Minnesota this past Tuesday, he went 5 earned runs in 2 innings pitched. Although luckily for him, that game got rained out, so he was basically credited with all those. Or he wasn't credited with any of those runs because they didn't play in official game. But he is coming off a pretty bad start in Minnesota.
Yeah, he's been pretty bad this year. Who's hot for your Cardinals? I don't have too many people. I just have Brandon Moss has been hitting the ball really well for the Cardinals. I know he hit a pretty good. He hit a home run the other night. I don't know what day it was. Don't remember. I've been on vacation. Didn't really get to watch too much Cardinal baseball. And Randall Grichuk actually hit a grand slam. I'll mention him in the hot seat too. Finally, good to see his name back in there. But I haven't heard of anything out of Tommy Pham in a really long time. I know Paul, he obviously wasn't with me on vacation, so he was home. I'm sure he watched some Cardinal. And if I'm wrong on that.
No, I haven't heard from him either. Yep.
Yeah, so Tommy Pham, hopefully he's going to be one of those outfield studs. He's going to have to pick it up since Holiday goes down, but we will touch on that in that podcast. But, yeah, Brandon Moss is hot. Grichuk's hot. Tommy Pham not so hot.
Finally, for the predictions, I'm going to go with a Cardinals sweep if you want to call it, for a 2-game series. I don't like Keuchel pitching this season, and Fister has been sort of I'm going to go with the Cardinals 2-game sweep.
I'm going to go with a split 1-1. I think with all the injuries that the Cardinals have had, it hasn't slowed them down too much. They did take 2 of 3 from the Cubs. So I think the split with the powered offense that the Astros do have, and then that solid defense that they do have, I think that they might be able to etch out a game. But I will go with Paul, though. I am hoping for a sweep, but predicting a 1-1.
Right. And so that'll be it for us for the series preview for the Astros. We'll have the podcast out tonight for this week for you guys to view. And we'll be back on Wednesday for the MLB Week in Review podcast. And then this weekend when the Cardinals continue their road trip to Philadelphia. Until then, this has been the 11th inning stretch. Thank you for joining us.